Hey everybody, what is up? Warframe. Free-to-play game that a lot of people know about. Basically, space ninjas. But I like to think of it as what Destiny and Destiny 2 wanted to be in the end. And it's ironic that prior to the launch of Destiny 1, a lot of my stream time and a lot of my focus was on the PlayStation 4 version of Warframe. And I mean for months. And then Destiny 1 launched, and it was Destiny 1 for a long time, and then it got pretty good. And then Destiny 2 launched, and I got that on PC, and it's even worse than Destiny 1. And I've come full circle to Warframe again, and this whole time, Warframe has just continually evolved in a way that Destiny should have, but it didn't, because Destiny, it's controlled by a corporation and a developer that just don't have the same ideology and principles, and even ability, I would go so far as to say, to create something like Warframe, to create a platform that can just be iterated on and improved over the years to come. And I doubt that is going to happen, because there's going to be, another 2 Destiny games before the license expires, and then Bungie can do whatever they want. So it's basically just going to be the same every time going forward for Destiny. But with Warframe, what was bad is now getting better, and what was already better is now becoming the best. And in the current gaming industry, that is difficult to do. It's even more impressive though, because Warframe did it while being a free-to-play title. So they didn't have all that income coming from people who were buying the game up front and then using that for development. No, they had to devise a way to sustain the game over a long period of time, and have succeeded in doing so, on top of not resorting to loot boxes, not resorting to pay to win, and creating an in-game ecosystem that both makes them money and is probably one of the most consumer-friendly premium currency systems. It was back in 2014 when I played religiously, and it is now in 2018 as I'm just getting back into it and discovering everything that's changed and improved. Some of the biggest changes since 2014, since when I really made it hard, is the inclusion of a huge open world map with its own dynamics and dynamic time of day and features and bounties and quests. It's like a game within a game. But on top of that, they've completely overhauled the way that you move. And the way that you used to move before was like sprinting and crouching and then sliding and then jumping, and then like you would repeat all of those manual moves together to create this string of movement that would propel you across the map. Well, now they've consolidated all of that into a movement system that is both more simple and more accessible, but also just as fun and just as exhilarating, because being able to fly around the map just by pressing control and space and then aiming is super fun, way more fun than before, when you had to manually find a wall, climb up it, and vault and leap over things, and you couldn't really jump too high. I mean, yeah, you could like kind of double jump, but it wasn't nearly like it is now. And then you can also fly through the air by aiming down your sights with a gun equipped as you're doing all of this, which propels you even further. You can cover massive distances by combining this combo where you shoot yourself up in the air, double jump, and then hold right click, and you just glide like freaking half mile. I love it. It's so much better than before. And that's something that Destiny wishes they could do. And I know that's something they've done recently, is increase the movement speed to try to make you feel more powerful and give you that freedom. But it pales in comparison so much it's not even funny. And the way that Warframe has developed itself into its own massive project, its own massive platform, with literally hundreds of different weapons to choose from. And if you like to think of each Warframe being its own class, then there's a lot of those. I mean, not like 100, but quite a few, like over 20 at least. But at that point, I'm just gushing about common knowledge. And you know, I'm glad that I stepped away from Warframe when I did and came back to it now, because it's given me this new appreciation for it, and I'm also not burnt out on it. And there's so much for me to still discover. Things like sorties, the new endgame mode that you need to be like completely maxed out to even try, which is fun. And the new mode itself is pretty fun, and it's not perfect. There are some bugs, and the developers are working on that, and there are some imbalances and some redundant things, because there's so many systems at play here, but all of it works so well, even with those flaws, that it needs to be congratulated. I mean, there is a reason why it's #1 on Steam's free-to-play, with one of the only downsides of this game being so popular and so big in scope is that it can be a little intimidating. They've gone and taken a lot of steps to ease you into the game a little bit more by having you jump and complete quests from planet to planet, and then as you do what's needed to do on those planets, you can move on to the next one and you'll get a series of quests and unlocks and new warframes and new weapons to try as you're doing this, and then you'll reach endgame and then the rest of it opens up, and it's a much more organic progression experience than what I was used to in the past, where you would just indiscriminately hop from planet to planet, and sure, some planets were harder than others inherently, but you needed to go there to get a specific resource for whatever. But it's a little different now, and I like that. It's definitely more cohesive, and it reminds me of OG Destiny 1, minus the patrol zones, although the 4x4 kilometer map on Earth is essentially one big patrol zone, so I guess that kind of counts. Except it's better because when it becomes nighttime, it becomes harder and you have these giant bosses that you need to kill out in the fields, and if you're able to kill them, you get these like special drops that augment your warframes in new and interesting, unique ways. So I guess to summarize my feelings in this video, I'm just happy that Warframe exists in the way that it does, and that in the various ways that Destiny and Bungie has disappointed me, Warframe and Digital Extremes has done the complete opposite. And if you're a fan of my content in general here on YouTube, I think Warframe is going to be something that you can expect going forward. I want to do things that probably have already been done before, but with my own unique take on it. Things like reviewing weapons, warframes, other basic and advanced guides, and then maybe some more creative content down the road once I've got a feel of things. Hell, if I can manage it, maybe even have my own clan, have our own ship, start building things, unlock tons of things, create this empire. That'd be neat. That's as good as pipe dreams right now, though. Gotta focus on building the rest of it up. But hope you enjoyed the video. I wonder what your thoughts are on the whole Destiny versus Warframe. Do you think Warframe is what Destiny always wanted to be, or at least strive to be? I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments down below. You know what to do down below as well to make me happy as a YouTuber, you know, hitting that like button, subscribing, all that junk. But thanks for watching and supporting my channel, and I will catch you next time. Never stop gaming.